when I was down in Colombia with like my ex-girlfriend, I was with her entire family for her grandfather's second memorial, and then we're walking down the street towards the church, and I like was like in a suit, like holding my girlfriend's hand. Her total family is around, and I'm just spacing off, and I just reach down in my pants and just rearrange my dick for like a good like second and a half in front of her entire family, and I pulled it out, and all of a sudden, right as I put my hand down, I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? And my girlfriend looks up to me, and she's like, why did you just do that? I was like, I don't know. And then we like kept on walking all the way to the church. And yeah, like 4 of her family members was like, did this white boy just like this fucking gringo just like stick his hand in his pants? And they've never been to America. For all they know, that that's totally a normal thing to do. If you need to rearrange your dick, just do it in public.
Welcome to All Kind Talk.
Anyway.
Where we talk about anything that goes on our mind. This is Kapu.
How's it?
That's Miles.
Hey guys.
So, we're going to be doing, since we're in quarantine, a little podcast for you guys based on some really fucked up recommendations. We're going to go into some fun little topics that's going on. And as you can see, we have some medications right here. Right here. Drink your water, guys. If you're in quarantine, drink your water, please. Stay safe out there.
Fight against coronavirus.
Fight coronavirus.
Water actually fights against... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, dude, I feel like there might be some coronavirus conspiracies in this podcast.
I hope so.
That would be awesome.
You know there's a question in there, right?
Is there really?
There's some actual questions this time.
Yeah. Coronavirus conspiracies in there.
So, if this is the first one you're seeing, we did a test recording yesterday. It went completely horrible, but that's why we do it again. So, anyway, do you have any last thoughts before we get into it, or just want to pick the first topic?
At any point, can you guys let me know if there's yogurt on my face?
I'm absolutely not going to let you know that. I'm going to let it just drip down.
I feel like we're just going to come to me and Miles are just going to talk, or you just look at each other while you kind of go off. And just... Anyway. All right. Actually, we're going to skip this one because this is... Actually, you know what? Let's not skip this one because this is very much to you guys. So... First question, what kind of questions do you expect for this podcast?
Yeah. That's a good one, actually.
That's a good one.
I like that.
Well, we have seen a decent amount of the questions that were submitted into this box right here. Some of y'all are really fucked up.
Yeah, there's a lot of really messed up ones in there.
So
I kind of expected a lot of mixed. I expected like half and half, like half just like ridiculous stuff, and then half like kind of serious political questions or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I think there will be some political ones. I don't really want to go too political, but...
I know Israel versus Palestine is in there somewhere.
Oh, I mean, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a great one.
I don't want to pick sides, but we can just make fun of it. But
yeah.
I'm not the one to pick sides, even though I totally go with Palestine. Did I say that out loud? Anyway, that's another discussion. Okay.
All right, what do you expect?
I mean... The Buddha says to not have expectations.
I think the Buddha would be disappointed in all of it.
But I really... Can I change it to like what I hope for?
Sure, absolutely.
Because the questions I hope for are more cerebral questions, philosophical. Not so much political, although I could entertain that.
Yeah.
But more like philosophical, deep life questions, or... You know, like what we drew last time after we stopped recording with euthanasia. That's a really good topic.
Right.
Yeah.
Something that has...
And a very effective way of population control.
I mean, I think it's just like a right for someone.
Yeah. Well, are you talking about assisted suicide? I think euthanasia is more just like this person needs to go.
Yeah, euthanasia is defined as someone who's terminally ill.
I think we can discuss this on a different...
Yeah, okay, anyway.
Because we do have that in here somewhere, but like I do like what you would hope for. Like,
yeah, just like philosophical questions about, you know, religion, even spirituality, history... You know, there's stuff like that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, I just wanted like half serious stuff and half fucked up shit. That's basically all I wanted.
I kind of agree. Like, I expect most of it to be fucked up because it is 2020 and it feels like nothing's out of bounds. But I also want to go into some like deep kind of philosophical stuff that you were talking about. with a bit of edginess to it, I would say would be a good line to find. But I think we'll explore that the more we do this podcast and the more you guys kind of follow along, make suggestions. We'll probably see a lot of them to make sure they're appropriate for the show.
I just want more questions. I just want more people to start just like writing in some shit, so it's not just like my fucked up friends like writing about Hillary Clinton like getting her box eaten and stuff like that, or like fleshlight questions.
Yeah, that's one question I think we don't have to go with again.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's out. It's out. We already did it. We talked about it for 20 minutes.
We removed the Hillary Clinton snatch and we removed the homemade fleshlight.
I can't believe we did it. I can't believe we actually talked about Hillary Clinton's
I don't know
like
if we
oral.
did as much as we got through it.
Yeah, but, I mean, but 20 minutes we stayed on it. I feel like it went fairly well. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Fair.
it was
Okay.
a good first start. All right.
All right, you want to pick one now?
Let's
one.
go. This game. What we got here? Oh my god. Alright, how many kids could you kill in a third world country before someone would notice? Yeah.
Well, it depends on the country. But I don't really want to name off countries. at the
India.
moment. India.
I would definitely go to India.
In like a heavily populated area in India or like a small little like remote village?
Like in a heavily populated area, but like on the outskirts, like by the railroad tracks where all like the Lost Boys hang out, I would just snatch those kids up all day long.
Yeah, I mean that.
Okay.
You've seen Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How easy would it be to abduct children there? You wouldn't even have to abduct them. If you're a white guy, they'd probably just be like, ooh, better life, and like come with you. They think they're getting a visa, but you're just like, they're going in a hole somewhere.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I would just go India. I would also hop around a little bit more. Like, I wouldn't just like stay. I would probably like go to different Indian cities and then maybe like swing over to like Thailand or something like
If you
that.
go to different Indian cities, you'd probably gain a reputation as the Indian killer, and it would be more of just like how racist can you be as opposed to how many kids you can kill.
Yeah. What about Russia? Because Russia, you don't stand out like in India.
No, Russia, that might happen, and people are just going to be like, yeah, same shit as always.
Yeah, exactly. This has been
But
happening like
Russia's
since.
not really a
time.
third world country. I feel like there's areas of Russia that's
Yeah,
third world
no, that's
like,
true. Yeah.
But I mean, Russia is still one of the most heavy superpowers of the world. So I wouldn't really want to go to. I'd probably kill somebody, but I'd also get mutilated myself if I got caught.
Well, yeah, but it's how many? What is it? How many kids
How many
could you?
kids
Could
can you kill a third world country and get away with it?
I think I could probably get to about a dozen before people started really catching on.
Really?
Yeah, I think I could probably, if I had
Okay.
like a credit card to get me around the world and like get some stuff. If I had like $100,000 in the bank, I bet I could kill about a dozen kids before somebody started getting wind.
I feel like I would maybe go higher. Honestly, I would go maybe like 20. Because like if you're gonna be in like these third,
You made your
world-
point with 20, haven't you?
Yeah. 20. I would say though, if like there's like these little kids in that remote village kind of thing, you know that a bunch of them are gonna hang out together. So if
Exactly.
you grab like 6 or 7 of them, and you're like, let's go on this fun activity, but it's kind of like a trap to lure them into like a murder.
Well, but then how do you like? Well, I mean, I guess if you just pull out a gun, that seems like kind of a cheap way to doing it.
Well,
We were
I'm
talking
not
about-
saying a gun necessarily.
Well,
There
but then
could
how are you
be-
going to like subdue 6 children all at the same time before they scatter?
You could say like, listen, this is the coolest thing. You see this anchor right there, so you tie that to your foot or whatever. I'm not gonna describe methods of killing them, but you could probably kill like maybe 6 or 7 at a time, and then move on to the next village if you sneak away from the current village you're in.
Wait, so you're
before they
tying them
catch
to a
on.
rope to keep them there in place until you get back
no,
with more
no,
children?
No, I said like an anchor. So if you tie an anchor to their foot
And then throw in the water.
yeah, exactly. Like you
Oh.
drown them, they're not gonna be like.
I don't
you're not
think
gonna
kids
hear
are that
gunshots.
stupid. Kids are pretty stupid. I think your like instincts are probably going to kick in and be like, "Hey, maybe this isn't such a good thing." But
Well, no, we're talking about how many kids we can kill in the third world country. I think morality is like not existent.
no. I think the kid would just be like, "Hey, I'm going to run away now. I don't want you tying like an anchor
Well,
to my
whatever
leg."
way, maybe not that way, but like I'm sure you can kill like 6 at a time.
Yeah,
or
disposal
something.
is really the thing you need to worry about. More
Exactly.
Than,
'cause
yeah.
if you hear kids screaming, then you're probably only gonna get 1 or 2 to get away with, and not like 20.
Yeah. And I mean, those are rookie numbers. You got to bump those numbers up in this
Yeah,
league.
I mean practice makes perfect.
Okay, Kapo, how would you?
Wait, is that from a movie?
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
Well, I like that we brought up it depends on what country you're in, because if we keep in mind, and India is mentioned, we got to keep in mind there's like 1 billion people in India.
Right.
Okay.
And we don't mean this as against India. Like, India is just the one country we chose. Like, we're not saying anything about Indian people. It's just anyway.
Yeah. Let's see.
I know
It's
we already
got
said
a
about that.
it's got a population of 1.339 billion
Yeah.
in 2017. So, I mean,
Coronavirus has definitely helped reduce the population, I'm sure.
I don't think by much, honestly.
Yeah, it's a drop in the bucket.
I mean, I don't know. Oh, here, the total area is about 1 million square miles. And then, so let's look at China.
Yeah, what's China's? So you said like 3 billion or 1.3 billion?
I think it's
So you know what's interesting? The country with the most child kidnappings in the year, like the highest rate, is Pakistan, and Pakistan's right next to India.
Well, Pakistan was part of India.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was the whole thing. I'm just saying, it's like
Yeah.
Pakistan. If you want to kidnap kids, go to Pakistan.
Okay.
Yeah, what's the population of Pakistan?
My internet's not working for some reason.
Because that's how you say it. Pakistan.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna call it how I said it.
Pakistan.
If you want to be all
Pakistan, is that
upbeat,
the actual like legitimate way to say
yeah.
it? Pakistan?
Yeah, that's how they say it.
I would say Pakistan, but I'm sure there's some.
If you're from
179
Pakistan,
million?
Pakistan.
Wow, that's
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Stan.
Pakistan.
Because it's not Stan, it's Stan.
Yeah.
Afghanistan, you know. Yeah. Turkmenistan.
well. If I ever go there, I'll try to remember to pronounce it correctly.
Right.
Okay, so anything else to add about how many kids we could kill? I say about a dozen. Wait, how many? That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I'm just.
I don't think it has to be subject to one specific country, but just a third world country.
Yeah, I mean, because if you could travel around, you could hit different countries.
Yeah, you would
Like-
if you woke up in a third world country, like on the ground somewhere, you'd probably just within maybe an hour realize, okay, this is a third world country. This isn't like America. This isn't Russia. This isn't like.
Well, I mean, you just know the
UK.
countries that you're going to. Like, I know that if I go to Darfur, it's a total shithole. There's probably a lot of children there that get snatched pretty easily. But I'm not
Right.
going to go to Paris because they care about their children
No.
and are going to like keep a close eye on them.
Okay.
That reminds me of another
What's
topic.
what's your number though? What? How
So
many-
yeah, I was just wanted to see. There's about 1.5 billion people in China, with almost 4 million square miles, and in India there's like 1.3 billion people, with a little over 1 million square miles. So
You're getting
that's-
real technical about this. You're trying to figure out like how many
not-
kids are in a square
That's a
mile,
I feel like
and like
Okay,
make your
so
adjustment.
that's a quarter of the area. I'm just saying, okay? So this is how it's related.
you definitely
This is
sound like you're planning a murder.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the break.
I think we're
I
talking
don't,
about
these are laid on there.
hypotheticals.
They're not screwed in. I don't. These things keep on falling off. Somebody's put them on there and didn't
Yeah.
even bother to screw them in.
I think we just gotta fix it up.
Whatever.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'm just trying to paint a picture of how densely populated India is. There's with
Yeah, it sucks there.
a quarter of the area of China, it has nearly the same population. So I think if you went to India, I think it would probably be more like 50. Even close
Well,
to
without
100.
getting caught though,
Yeah.
or just being
Before you get caught, 50.
Yeah. If you
Oh.
kept moving,
I mean, there's so many people there that eventually all someone has to do is grab onto you, hold you for like 2 seconds, and the police are like that much closer.
yeah. And in India, if you like, yeah, it's true. They do have like a.
I was thinking of like 20 people as far as like I can also escape.
Well, yeah, but why are you grabbing these kids in crowds? Like again, like there's a bunch of just kind of like orphan children like on the outskirts, like,
Yeah.
and you could just like go out there and just like wait till one's alone, just like.
You're
grab
gonna-
it.
first-
you don't go to the bazaar
We also
and just
gotta
like try to
think-
grab somebody's
so,
kid.
I also went, so not necessarily again going back to India or China again, but
Although
I
we
went-
always do.
Although we usually do, yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it's fun. I went to Sri Lanka back in 2012.
Wow.
So it's Sri Lanka's a southern island off the coast of India,
Mhm.
but it's like a lot of the same Like, I'm not going to say the same thing because I'm not going to
Well,
confuse them and get them mad.
they speak the same language that they do in a certain part of South.
Right, of course,
Town.
yeah. Well, what I'm saying is that they will notice white people there. Like, they are definitely gonna, they're not gonna be like special kind of thing, but they'll definitely like, if they see like a van of tourists, like white people, they'll definitely notice it and take it into account. So like, we also got to consider if we're going to India or any other third world country that doesn't necessarily have a lot of white people, the fact that there's a white person there will probably
It'll raise suspicion.
catch more attention in general. So like, if you're like going back to India, if you're an Indian person and you're kidnapping a child to kill them, you'll probably get away with more murders as an Indian person than a white person. Because a white person will get recognized right away and be like, what the fuck is that white dude, like, taking my son? I'm not gonna
But again,
say
your
names.
your strategy is just bad. Why are you taking
What?
people's?
What was
There,
the
like, there's
name?
plenty of just like runaway
No, I
children
don't-
to
What was the
snatch
name
up.
you're
I don't
thinking
know,
of, huh?
Mohammed. I'm sorry, what?
Mohammed.
What? Did I say that? No, I did.
Something September 11th.
September. Okay, we're getting
Yeah,
too
I mean,
racist.
that
We're
is
getting
a-
too racist.
that
I
is
feel
a
like we should
Muslim
wrap this.
name.
We should wrap this up.
Okay.
There are
Let's wrap
Muslims
this up.
in India.
So you're saying, okay. So
He's
going
saying
back on
50.
topic,
I say a dozen. You say 20.
20.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I
We good?
I feel like I can agree with him because he has more of a.
I like his ambition.
Yeah, I don't know if like is the right word, but
I admire his ambition.
I admire his ambition of like planning out a murder.
Yeah.
I feel like you can be in an Ocean's like 11.
Also, he looks like he could be a guru, so he could actually fit in India.
Probably.
That's the thing. He could go around and be like, I'm the guru of the children, and be like the Pied Piper, and they all like follow him to his murder cave. He could
Yeah.
probably actually get like 200 or 300.
Sure.
I think you're selling yourself short. Okay, anyway,
Alright,
what we got next?
You wanna let's just do this one more
Alright.
topic. We got about 12 minutes left. But
How long until the camera stops recording?
30 minutes. So we're at I think 17
Oh my!
minutes.
This
Okay.
is a pretty good one.
Okay.
What's the worst thing that has happened to you on a date?
Oh.
First of all, I know who sent this in. You know who you are. This doesn't have to be. Wait, is this like a date specifically?
This is on a date. Yeah.
On a date. I don't really know if I've had any bad date. I've had like some.
You've never
I mean,
had a
we're
bad
millennials.
date?
Not a bad date.
We're millennials.
I've
we don't
had-
even date. You just.
It's just awkward moments on Tinder, and then the worst thing that happens is they unadd you. And it's like, all right, that was embarrassing, but it wasn't.
Yeah, you're a lucky man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't really get a lot of action on Tinder, so I mean, you can't really have a high bar if you don't have a bar to begin with.
Nobody gets a lot of action on Tinder. People just like to pretend that they get a lot of action on Tinder.
Yeah. I'm straight up. I don't get action on Tinder. I've accepted that, and I'm okay with it.
I gave
Tinder
up on
is an app
Tinder a
you use
long
in the
time ago.
bathroom. What's the worst thing that happened on a date? Can we expand that?
I think it's just like the worst story that you have.
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
I guess it's not really a date though.
Mhm.
It was the prom.
Oh god.
It's a good setup.
It
This
was
is like-
junior. It was junior prom. I hope.
Kill 50 Chinese
I hope she
kids.
doesn't.
Did you say I hope?
I hope she doesn't listen to this.
Oh.
But
She probably will.
well, it's not that bad. But it's just like
Well, just don't say her name.
I thought it was so cool because I went with the senior girl and I was a junior, and I thought it was so cool. And I like went to her house. We like took pictures, and she's a pretty girl, and I was like stoked. I thought I was gonna like party with her that night and like whatever,
Right.
you know. And she completely ditches me, and my parents. Okay, my parents
Oh.
like even got me a hotel room because that's when.
Wow, you have some good parents.
Yeah, that's when
Yeah.
we could, and
That's like as
They
close
got-
as you can to taking your son to a whorehouse to lose his virginity as you could possibly get without
they
like
got
doing
me.
that.
They got me a hotel room, and she just once prom was over, and like we separated, like she like ghosted me the whole night. And then she like wouldn't even talk to me at school after that, and so I ended up.
Was
my
there an
friend-
awkward moment that you were thinking of, or did it just everything went fine and then she just ghosted you, or did you like?
I don't know. It's probably just.
Did
'cause
you
I was-
accidentally
Did
trip
something
her and
happen
she
at the
like
prom
fell
that
over?
made
Yeah,
you
did
want a
something
distance?
that stood out to you as like?
not in particular. I don't rightly remember the whole night, but it's probably just I was like dumb and young, and she was like a senior girl. She was like a woman basically, and I was still like a little boy,
Right.
like running around,
Okay.
like fucking around all the time. But the night ended with one of my friends who had gotten kicked out of our school, who was like still hanging out in Waikiki. Because in Hawaii, when you have your prom, it's in the same like time really as everyone else's prom.
Right.
That's the
And-
same.
That's
Pretty
the
much.
same on
That's
the
the same
same-
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's in the same
There's all these things that you think
area.
just happen out
Yeah,
here in
no,
Hawaii.
Okay, wait. Yeah. No, that's true. Because proms are in the... But
Right,
also, it's in the same area. Because all our proms are out in Waikiki.
Okay.
Or most, like 90% of our proms are out in Waikiki.
Right. Yeah.
So when you have a prom, like they're in the ballrooms out there. So you have several people having proms. So like the hotel parties after the prom are lit, you know?
Right.
Until they get busted. But anyway, I end up
As
having
most proms
my
will.
friend and his girlfriend at the time over, and I was just like, you know what, you guys just have the bedroom, and I was like, you guys.
Well,
can
that
just
was nice of you.
go
Yeah.
in there, and I
That's
like,
nice.
and I slept on the couch, like.
Aw.
Hey, that's you know what. If
Hey.
anything, you came away with being a stronger person mentally and being more respectful of yourself.
Yeah.
So it's not a total loss, even though you totally didn't get pussy that night.
And it sounded like you handled. Yeah. I mean, I didn't get laid on my prom night either. Did you?
No, I
No.
didn't.
Yeah. Nobody got laid on their prom night here.
I brought my friend to prom, like a dude, because no one really cared about, hey, bring a girl to prom, because my school was like 100 people, so it's just like we know everything about each
yeah.
other, so we hated most. We didn't hate each other, but it's just like we all know each other, so if you ask someone to prom, it'd be like, no, I'm not gonna go with you because I know what you do. I see what you do. At
Yeah.
school. It's no. I never had that experience.
seen
I've been to
your
schools with the
search
same type of
history kind of
situation.
Yeah, I invited my homeboy, and we just chilled and we just talked. I didn't have my mind on kissing anybody. But anyway, sorry.
Did you kiss your homeboy?
No,
Oh.
I did not. I did not.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Um.
You want to go next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Worst day. Yeah. There's not even one in comparison. I was getting off a server shift in Waikiki like 3 months ago or something like that. And then my friend texts me, and he's out with this girl that he's like seen, and she brought a friend, and then my friend's like, dude, you need to get over and meet us at this club. This girl's super hot. So I'm like psyched, get off my shift, and then go over there. And just nobody knew, but that girl actually already had like a guy just waiting there for her. Like it wasn't like her boyfriend or anything. So then I show up. Yeah. And so I'm just like, but I don't want to seem like pissed because like I'm not. It was just like a miscommunication. So I was like, well, I should stay around for like 2 drinks just so it looks like I'm not like storming off. And then during that time I'm at the bar, and this like Latina girl comes up to me and starts like talking with me, and then we like kind of hit it off, and then I take her back to our table and everybody's having a good time. And then my friend and those 2 girls and then that guy, they all leave to go back to his apartment to like do drugs on the rooftop, and this girl didn't want to leave obviously because she just met me. So then I end up like getting in the car with her and her friends to go back to her place to spend the night. And then there's this giant like military dude, they're all Hispanic, in the car, and all of a sudden he was super nice, but when I got in the lift, like he started getting really angry and talking to her in Spanish. And it turns out that like it's not like her friend, it was her uncle. And so like this niece of his just picked up some random white boy to like take home and like take back to his place.
That
And
might not have
like
been the most welcoming sight to come
yeah,
across.
so this guy's just, it's like a 20-minute fucking ride, and then he's just talking shit in Spanish the entire time, and I don't really understand it, but just like he's just like puto gringo and stuff like that. I'm like, I know that you're calling me like a fucking whore of a white boy, and like he keeps on saying these things over and over again. So super awkward, get out of the car, and then I realize we're in Kalihi, and I look across the street, and there's like 3 guys drinking Floridas and smoking blunts, and they do not look like they would be okay with a white guy walking down the street in the middle of the night. So then I like go up the stairs, they're still arguing, and then the door opens up, and there's these 2 pit bulls that like charge me, and I was like drunk and high, and so like I started petting them. But in hindsight, they could have like ripped my throat out. They were like running at me, and then she's like, "Oh, just be careful. They haven't been out inside. They get really excited and might pee." And right as she says that, this dog just pisses all over my legs, like just soaks my work khakis that I was still in. And then they keep on arguing for like half an hour. I'm just sitting like staring at the ceiling fan, just like being like do. Oh, and my phone's dead. That's the other thing. My phone had already died, and I forgot to close up my tab because this girl distracted me. So I'm in Kalihi with like no phone, no card, no anything. Finally they leave. We go into her bedroom, and then like I just don't get laid. Basically, like just like sum it all up. Like nothing just like went terrible, but just like it wasn't gonna happen. And then. So need to get back because I have a server shift. I'm like staring at the ceiling fan, just like trying to fall asleep. Can't. So I wake her up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, asking if she can buy me a lift home. And then I'd Venmo her. She tries, but her card gets declined. Calls up because her card was flagged, gets the flag unremoved. And then she goes, the guy's like, oh, anything else I can help you with? And then she goes, oh, yeah, there's this $150 charge from last week that I need removed, and that was fraud. And then she puts the phone on mute and looks at me and goes, I actually did pay for it. I just want my money back. So then for the next hour and a half, this chick's committing bank fraud, like via phone, and not calling me a fucking lift. And it's like 6 o'clock in the morning by this point. Literally spends an hour and a half, like, frauding this bank out of fucking money. Then her cards got canceled because she declared them for fraud. Finally, her friend comes in. And it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, dude, I swear to Christ and Sonny Jesus, if you get me home, like, I will Venmo you the fucking money. Yeah. And so finally, he does that. I get back to my work or where my moped was parked at like 10 o'clock in the morning, drive my hungover ass home, crash for 3 hours, and have to go in and work a double.
That sounds awful.
It was terrible. It was every part of it was absolutely terrible.
Must have just added to the sadness of going into work that next day.
Yeah, no, it was a really, really bad night. And I could have just gone home. I could have just had those 2 drinks and been like, all right, and gone home and like crashed out and watched Netflix. Damn. But instead, yeah, that was quite the experience.
Shit.
It was pretty bad. But anyway.
Right. Well, we're actually running out of time right now, so I'm going to finish with my story real quick, not to kind of belittle yours. Mine's not special, honestly, but... my experience was in my freshman year, I had this film school. I'm not really going to... Well, I'll say her name, but, like, I don't care. Anyway, but there was this girl I had a film class with, the introduction to film studies that we did. And I asked this girl who kept sitting next to me, we worked on a project together, and I was like, hey, you want to go out sometime? And she's like, absolutely, let's go. And then... This was a time before Uber was a thing. This was like early 2015. So if it was around, I didn't know about it, but I definitely could have used it. But we had a date set up.
It was. That was the beginning.
Yeah, we were going to have like a little date/study session at IHOP because it was open late and it was kind of near her house. So I was like, you know what, I'll just, like, it makes sense right over there. And like, it's IHOP, it's open late anyway. So we did that. And then I just waited around. I was starting to study, and she just never showed up. It was really funny, though, because we had class the next day together, and we sat next to each other, so it was really, really awkward.
Did you talk about it at all, or just not mention it?
I didn't mention it after I said, where were you?
What was her response?
She's like, I fell asleep, which is like, obviously, like, I didn't really care about going there.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, but...
It's one thing to, like, just be like, nah, I don't want to do this, but it's another thing just to kind of, like, ghost or just, like, not show up. Like, just have the courage to say no.
The next day, because class is just as important, but I had to walk.
Wait, sorry, was this a study date, or was it just, like...
This was a study and a date. So, like, we were going to stay together, and then we were going to go back to her place afterwards.
Was that implied or spoken upon?
No, we said, like, yeah, let's go to IHOP, and then, like...
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Afterwards, like... Then we'll just take it from there.
I just wasn't sure if you were just like, yeah, we met in the library, but, you know, I was going to get her back there. Okay, yeah, no.
So we did that, but the good thing is, though, about that is that it was free pancake day, so I didn't go home super sad, but I realized it was raining and it was 2 a.m., so Uber wasn't a thing to me, so I had to walk back to campus, which was about a 35-minute walk.
In the rain?
But I was full, so I was okay with it. I still had my bags, but I wasn't okay with it. My heart hurt, so I was sad, but it was kind of funny. So I had a lot of different emotions that day.
That seems like a scene in, like, that would be in a romantic comedy, like right when they, like, break up before they get back together or whatever.
Like, climax the movie. It just happened, and then it's just like the credits start rolling.
Yeah, well, that's life. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, well, that was my story.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us at Any Kind Podcast. Once again, I'm Kaufman. This is Ian. This is Miles. See you you guys next time. Shoots.
Shoots.
Aloha.
Later.